Question 31. What does this sign mean? A. You cannot turn left from this lane. B. You can only turn left from this lane. C. You should merge left. B. You can only turn left from this lane. Left turn only. This sign tells you that you can only make left turn from this lane. Lane use control signs are used where turning movements are required or where turning movements are permitted from lanes as shown. Question 32. To pass another vehicle safely on a two-lane road at highway speeds, you need at least the following opening in oncoming traffic and sight distance. A. 1/3 of a mile. B. 400 feet. C. 1,000 feet. A. 1/3 of a mile. At highway speeds of 50 to 55 miles per hour, you need a 10-12 second gap in oncoming traffic to pass safely. At 55 miles per hour, you will travel over 800 feet in 10-12 seconds, so will an oncoming vehicle. That means you need over 1,600 feet, or about 1/3 of a mile, to pass safely. Question 33. You must notify the DMV within 5 days if you A. Fail a smog test for your vehicle. B. Sell or transfer your vehicle. C. Get a new prescription for lenses or contacts. B. Sell or transfer your vehicle. When you sell or transfer a vehicle, report it to the DMV within 5 days. You can complete the Notice of Transfer and Release of Liability, Reg 138, form online. Note: if you are a buyer and purchase a vehicle from a private party, you must transfer the ownership within 10 days. Question 34. When driving near a pedestrian who is carrying a white cane and using a guide dog, you must A. Proceed normally. B. Honk your horn. C. Slow down and be prepared to stop. C. Slow down and be prepared to stop. Pedestrians using guide dogs or white canes with or without a red tip must be given the right-of-way at all times. These pedestrians are partially or totally blind. When these pedestrians are in your vicinity, be especially careful when turning corners or backing up, particularly if you are driving a quiet hybrid vehicle. Do not honk your horn at a blind person. The blind person has no idea who you are honking at and may be startled by the noise. Do not give the blind pedestrian verbal directions. A blind pedestrian listens to all traffic sounds before deciding to cross the street. Question 35. A white diamond painted on the pavement means A. Emergency lane. B. Railroad crossing ahead. C. Reserved lane. C. Reserved lane. Lanes marked with a diamond symbol lane are reserved freeway lanes used only for carpools, buses, motorcycles, or declared low-emission vehicles. Commonly known as carpool or high-occupancy vehicle lanes. Question 36. You are driving in heavy traffic and see the brake lights of several vehicles ahead of you. You should A. Insist on the right-of-way to avoid accidents. B. Drive more slowly. C. Drive closer to the center of the road. B. Drive more slowly. As a rule, drive more slowly. In parking lots in downtown areas. On roads with heavy traffic. When you see the brake lights of several vehicles ahead of you. Over narrow bridges and through tunnels. Through toll plazas. Near schools, playgrounds, and in residential areas. Question 37. You should not start across an intersection if you know you will block the intersection when the light turns red. A. Unless you enter the intersection on a green light. B. Unless you face a green arrow and plan to turn left. C. Under any circumstances. C. Under any circumstances. Even if you have the green light, do not start across the intersection, if there are vehicles blocking your way. Remember, you may proceed only if the intersection is clear. Do not enter the intersection if you cannot get completely across before the light turns red. If you block the intersection, you can be cited. Question 38. This yellow sign means A. Divided highway ahead. B. Work zone ahead. C. Blocked highway ahead. A. Divided highway ahead. Divided highway ahead. Divided highway begins. The road is dividing into two separate roadways by a median or divider. Each roadway is one way. Stay to the right. The divided highway ends, A, is placed in advance of the end of a section of physically divided highway, not an intersection or junction, as a warning of two-way traffic ahead. You must keep to the right and watch for oncoming traffic. The divided highway begins, B, is placed where you approach a section of highway, not an intersection or junction, where traffic is separated by a median or other physical barrier. Question 39. When following an emergency vehicle using sirens and flashing red lights, you must A. Slow down to 25 miles per hour or less. B. Stay more than 300 feet behind. C. Use your emergency flashers. B. Stay more than 300 feet behind. It is against the law to follow within 300 feet of any emergency vehicle answering an emergency call. Stay more than 300 feet behind any moving emergency vehicle, fire truck, ambulance, patrol car, displaying flashing warning lights and sounding a siren. Question 40. A blind spot is the area of the road. A. You see in your side mirror. B. Lighted by your headlights. C. You cannot see without looking over your shoulder. C. You cannot see without looking over your shoulder. Blind spots are areas near the left and right rear corners of your vehicle that you cannot see in your mirrors. These blind spots can hide a motorcyclist or a bicyclist. Remember to turn your head before changing lanes. Do not drive in another driver's blind spot.